Hello. As the time for board exam comes near, let's understand how to study after ICSE has further reduced the syllabus for this year. What we are going to see is how the syllabus has changed after further reduction by ICSE board, how the marks distribution has changed across chapters, what type of questions you can expect, and in what sequence you should study to get maximum marks. Let's first start by understanding how the syllabus has changed after these two rounds of reduction. The syllabus for ICSE Class 10th Computer Applications is divided into these 8 sections. Post-reduction, there is no change in first 5 sections. The 6th section on encapsulation is deleted. So there will be no questions on access specifiers or scope of variables. In arrays, only single-dimensional arrays are remaining. Whole section on double-dimensional arrays has been removed. Selection sort and binary search has also been removed. That leaves only bubble sort and linear search. In strings, in further reduction, they have removed the programs, and for all string methods, only questions on syntax, purpose, working example with output can be asked. ICSE theory question paper has 2 sections, Section A and Section B. Section A is compulsory and is of 40 marks. It has 20 questions of 2 marks each. Section B is of 60 marks, where you have a choice and have to attempt any 4 questions out of 6 of 15 marks each. Let's take a look at approximate distribution of questions for Section A first. Roughly around 11 to 12 questions are on revision of Class 9 syllabus itself. 1 question on class as the basis of all computation. Functions and constructors have 1 question each. 2 to 3 questions on library classes. Encapsulation and arrays again 1 question each, and 2 questions on strings. In Section B, there are 6 questions. From revision of Class 9 syllabus, there will be 1 question on numbers such as pronic number, special number, pi number, etc. 1 question will be on switch case combined with either series or patterns you have learnt in 9th. Next, you will find some combination questions where some concept of 10th is merged with some basic concepts you have learnt in 9th. There is 1 question on class as basis of all computation where you have to write a class, but it is combined with switch if-else construct from 9th. It might include encapsulation constructor concepts as well. Then there is 1 program on function overloading, which could also be combined with either series or patterns. 1 program is expected on arrays. It is typically a single-dimensional array program, maybe with some sorting and searching techniques. 1 program is on string, which requires you to break the string into character or words and then do some manipulation on it. Now with the revised syllabus, how is it impacting this distribution? Let's see. In Section A, 1 odd question which is asked on encapsulation will just get adjusted most probably in string, as they can no longer ask string programs, but only 2 mark questions can be asked. Arrays and string distribution will still remain the same, only there will be no questions on double-dimensional arrays or binary search or selection sort. In string similarly, there will be no question on string arrays. They can only ask 2 mark questions on string functions. In Section B, there is no change expected in Class 9 questions. In the program where you need to write a class, encapsulation concept will just get removed. There will still be a program on arrays, but only single dimensional and with only linear or bubble sort. The biggest impact is in the last question, where they have said that there will be no string programs. Here probability is that they will move to Class 9 concepts such as a program on loops. Now that we know the marks distribution, let's discuss what to study and in what sequence. Since Class 9 portion takes almost major chunk of marks, having a good understanding of it is the key. For Section A, you should be able to answer questions on these topics, as 1 question is expected on each of them. Most of them will be application questions, not theory. so focus on how they are used. First is define object-oriented concepts like abstraction, polymorphism, etc. Next is on tokens, different types of tokens, then proper use of print and println statement, values and data types including their sizes, operator and operator precedence questions, input in Java like using scanner class, output using mathematical library methods, using the conditional constructs in Java, and output using loops or for while conversion questions. In section B, you should know how to use switch case along with the if-else ladder questions. In loops, you should know how to solve number programs, series and pattern questions. By studying this, you can solve at least 2 out of 4 questions in section B. Next is class as the basis of all computation. The program in section B typically includes writing a constructor as well, so that chapter is also included here. In section A, you should be able to answer questions around class, defining objects, explaining state and behavior. From constructors, you should be able to explain characteristics of constructors, type of constructors, use of constructors, and constructor overloading. In section B, the program on this is actually a quick win and a very easy program, which is writing a class combined with switch if-else ladder. If you find loops confusing, this is must-learn question to focus on to straight get 15 marks. Next is functions. In section A, you should be able to answer questions on writing a function prototype, explaining return types like void, actual versus formal parameters, pass-by value versus pass-by reference, pure and impure functions, and function overloading. In section B, you can expect a function overloading question. Since this is mostly combined with series or patterns, if you have revised class 9 syllabus, you will need to put only a little extra effort to write them as functions. Next, I would recommend to do library classes and strings together. The reason I am clubbing strings here and also doing it before arrays is because there is almost 10 marks on these 2 chapters in section A, which is compulsory. For library classes, you should be able to answer questions on using wrapper class functions, explain autoboxing and unboxing. For all string functions, you should be able to answer questions around syntax, purpose, working examples with output. Since there is no string program, you can expect any loop question which might utilize some of the wrapper class functions. Last, I would recommend picking up arrays. There is one compulsory question of 2 marks on arrays in section A, which is around array declaration, types of arrays and their sizes, understanding index concept, or knowing searching and sorting. There is one program on arrays in section B. Array programs are actually very simple. The programs are on single-dimensional arrays, finding sum, average, max, min, using multiple arrays, linear search, and bubble sorting. Since section B has choice, you can skip learning array programs only if you have studied other chapters well. This summarizes the changes, mark distribution, and your focus areas. If you still have any doubt, you can reach out to us at simplycoding.in. Thank you and all the best.